A weird thing happened in my kitchen. I pulled out one of the drawers and the drawer just collapsed inside the cabinet. I'll show you what happened and how I'm going to repair it. This is going to require a repair to the rails of the drawer itself. So here's the rail, and this is the rail that attached inside the cabinet, not the rail that was on the drawer itself. And here's what happened. This piece right here, this bracket that goes on the end, it snapped off on both sides. So apparently this has been happening for a while. The house is about 16 years old, so it was just wearing. And my job is to find something that can replace this and then get it reinstalled. So here's the situation. The rail is screwed here at the front and it's resting on part of the cabinet, so there's no problem there. But you can see what's happening in back. It tore away from there and it cracked. So probably the proper way to reinstall this would be to put a wood spacer right between the wall of the cabinet and the rail, and do that on both sides, because this one failed as well. And then we could just screw the rail right to that. But that's one way to go, and it's probably the right way. I'm going to go the simple way. I'm going to install a new hanger in the back, a new bracket in the back. As I said, a correct and probably a more permanent solution would be simply to attach, to screw a spacer that's the exact space from the inside of the cabinet to where that rail goes, and then it's never going to move until they tear the house down. There's a problem. I don't have a table saw in order to rip that to the appropriate width. So the next solution is just replace it the way it was originally installed. It's not the greatest solution, but it's been there 15 years. And I'm going to install it a little more securely because I'm going to use screws instead of staples. And it'll probably go another 15 years. By that time, I'll be long gone. So there's going to be two things I have to make sure are done right. This rail has to be even, up and down. And it also has to maintain spacing left and right so that drawer goes all the way back. So here's the plan. I went to the hardware store and I found some replacement brackets. As far as the up and down is concerned, I'm just going to use my small level. I'll put the original screw in place and it'll be resting on the cabinet here. And then I'll move that up and down so I know that it's going straight across. And as far as the distance from inside the cabinet wall, I'm going to use this as my guide. I'll check the distance at the beginning where it was originally installed, and then I'll lock this down, and then I'll take it all the way to the end, and I'll make sure it's that same distance, and that's where I'll mark for my screw hole. So let's get started and get this thing fixed. I'm going to screw this up front with the original screw right there. Then I'm going to set my level on here, and you might not be able to see that in there, but I'm going to make sure that that is straight and level. And next I'm going to measure the distance from the wall, and just setting that up, and we'll move that all the way to the back and make sure that distance is the same. You might not be able to see this very well, but I'm just going to check that it's the same, adjust it, and then mark the back of the cabinet. Okay, so you can see that there were staples in there, so it tore apart that particle board just a little bit, but I have that leveled and I have it equidistant from the cabinet to here. But ultimately, that's not the important dimension. The important dimension is that these two are parallel and they will be even with the drawer all the way down. So I just washed off those pencil marks. I know nobody will see it, but I will. And let's see how this drawer slides in. But the real test is, where the drawers slide in and out. And it does. Well, we're done. It works. It's probably good for another dozen years. A more permanent solution would have been to install some blocks, making sure that those rails were parallel all the way back. As is, we adjusted the brackets and the drawer works really well. I have a couple of screws in there rather than the staples, so I think it's going to do a good job for many years to come. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe by clicking my face in the corner, and don't forget to ring that bell icon way up there. That way you'll know when I post new videos. Thanks again, I'm Mark. This is the Average Me Channel.